All right, so we're gonna go over the ellipse. Um, how can we relate this to the equation of a circle? Let's see, circle. Circle would have been, the general equation of a circle is that we have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals some radius squared. But in this situation, it's equal to 1. Whereas in this one, we would have some radius squared. So what's happening here is that we're going to be squishing the circle. Either you squish, we can imagine a circle squishing it in, you'll get flat like that, like you'll turn into like an egg. And if you have the circle and you squish it from the sides, then the thing would go something like this. All right, so now, so you would have two answers in terms of squishing it from the left and the right, or from the top and the bottom. So this, what's going to happen now is that everything's going to change. Everything's going to equal to 1 for sure. If it's an ellipse, it will equal to 1. And then these would depend on what these values would be. All right. So before I go over what I have here, when is it that it is like this, and when is it that it is like this? Okay, how can we know when is it that is it squished in from the top and the bottom, or is it from the sides? How would we know? This is the x along the x right here. If along the x the number is bigger along the x, you don't have to write this down, just listen to it. Along the x, if this number is bigger, say I'm going to give you a number 6 squared. If this is 36, and this is like, say, give you another number 5 or something. No, let's go with 9, 16. Let me go with 16. So if this is 16, is because along the x, the number is bigger. Along the x, the number is bigger. Then on the y, the number is smaller, is because this is shorter. If the numbers switch, and this is, say, 16, and this is 36, that is because along the y, this is going to be bigger along the y. This is the y, is bigger than it is along the x. Okay. Now, let's go to actually drawing things and naming them what they are. So that's the general equation of an ellipse. It always has to equal to 1. And there's a plus in between them. If it was a minus in between them, it would be a hyperbola. Okay. So what are the different things that we have to name and identify? These endpoints here on the top and the bottom, and on the left and on the right. The left and the right. These are going to be called vertices and co-vertices. So for this squished down egg like this, then these along the longer, they are called, what are they called? They got different names for them. And this is along the shorter one. Let's see, what are they called? I forgot what they're called. But at the endpoints, they're called vertices. Along the long one is going to be called vertices. So it's called major, along the major axis. So this one is called major axis. And this is going to be called the minor Major is the long, minor is the shorter. So this is a vertex, and the vertex, and there's another one. This one's going to be called a co-vertices, but they're along the minor co-vertices. The way these are made is because it got squished in. The beauty of a circle is that a circle is that the center and its focus are the same. So the center is, but when you squish in the circle, what happened here? When you squish in the circle, the center still stays there, but its focus points move. If you squish in like this, they will move along this horizontal line. So the focus points will move along these lines, and they get moved away. So this has focus points, and the focus points will be somewhere here and somewhere here. And the focus points will be a distance of C from the center. If it's to the left, it'll be negative C, and the distance from the center to that is a positive C. A lot of information here. It'll make sense once I give you an example, and then everything hopefully it will make more sense. If we squish it from the left and from the right, I think that's all the information I got for you on this one. If we got a squish on the sides, so then it bulges up from top and the bottom. So it's like a standing egg, if you think about it, like so you have the egg and you're holding it from the top, standing egg. Then everything switches. Then the vertices would be at the top and the bottom because it runs along the major axis. Yeah, they're called major, I think, and the minor. So the vertices will be at top and bottom. Co-vertices will switch down to the left and right. So vertices is where it runs along the longer axis. Is that what it's called, man? And the focus points this time, because we're squishing in from the left and the right, that the focus point gets away from the center and it runs along here, and the focus points will go along here. When you squish it from left and right, it just gets spread like that out. When you squish it from top and bottom, they squish out like that. Along the major, whatever major something, I'm not getting that number. So there's that, and so the focus point will be along the y-axis. C0, negative C0. Okay. Let's do some examples now that we kind of talked about how this thing works. And I would have liked it to be on a not a Monday, but on a block period, because there's a lot of information here on this one. But we gotta just work with what we got here. Because I gotta move on to examples. I already have this open on the website. If you miss anything, go get it at the website. I gotta move on. Okay? If you're missing anything from here, let's move on. Okay, here's the formula for finding this C, and I have it here. It's not as complicated as all this right here, but I'll give you the formula. It really is not that complicated. It's saying that C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared. But I'll tell you how to do it faster in a minute when we do the examples. Ready? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Let's go. I gotta move on. You're gonna get that later. Let's go. Example 1. find the center, find the A value, find the B value, find the foci of each ellipse. Sketch the graph. All right, on this one, let me give you some time while I take roll to make a nice graph, ready to go for this, everything. Man, that's a little bit of time to do this big lesson. All right, let's go ahead and graph. What is the center of the ellipse? Anybody? It's okay, just what do you think it is? Anybody say it? 0, 0 is correct. You should know most of this because we have done it so much. This is the one we're dealing with shifting. If it's just, there's no H and K, there's no 0 because it has, yep, 0, 0. 0, 0. And we put a dot at 0, 0 as being the center. That is the center of the ellipse. Okay, good. Okay, how do we find the A value? All right, so how do we find the A value? Let's rewrite it where it would be in that form right there. So let's do that. So it would be x squared plus y squared equal to 1. It's equal to 1, yes. But it has to be in A squared form. So how to rewrite this? What? 4 what? 4 squared. Yes, we're going to write down 4 squared. So this is going to be 4 squared. And then this one is going to be what? B squared. So how do we write this? 2 squared. Okay. So, okay, there it is, no? Well, what's A? 4. A is 4. B is 2. B is 2. Okay, so now, this is the way, because it's been a while since I taught this. It's been a good 4 years. But this, I'm trying to remember how I used to teach it. I go about it like this. The length along the X The length along the x will be 4 to the left and 4 to the right, because I'm looking at the x, and this 4 to the left, 4 to the right. This b value, a value. So the length along the x is 4 to the left. Put your vertices point here, and 4 to the right. So you're going to go from the center, you're going to go 4 to the left, 4 to the right. In the co-vertices, to get to the co-vertices, that's along the y, you're going to go 2 up and 2 down. So you're going to go 2 up, put a dot, and 2 down, put a dot. And hopefully you see how this ellipse is going to look like. It's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. Draw the ellipse as nice as you can draw that. Yes. Here's the problem about finding a foci. How do we find the foci? Not that hard at all. That formula they gave you, or that I had, is where we want to know along the major axis. It's called major axis. So along the major axis, we want to know how far from the center are the focus points. How far? Because there's 2 of them, one there, one there. How do we get how far from the center they are? Well, let's go ahead and use that formula that says something like cab. I remember like a cab. Back in the day, cab was you take Ubers now, but before it used to be you take a cab. And it's a minus between them. And square them. That's how I remember about the formula. In reality, I'll just do what the formula, but in reality it's easier than this formula. Let's do it. So it's to find this, how far from the center. C is how far from the center. A, what's the A value? Well, isn't A 4 and then you square it? Isn't it just subtract the small from the big? No matter what, it's going to be 16 minus 4. Subtract the smaller from the big. And then square root it. Because we're going to take a square root of both sides. So in reality, because we are going to square root this and square root this. So in reality, all you got to do and remember is to subtract the small number. So the C value is going to be subtract the small from the big. So what's 16 minus 4? And square root it. That's all you need to know. You don't need a formula. All you got to do is go look at the values back to the normal regular one, not this one. You could look at this one too. But just subtract the small from the big and square root it. What is the square root of 12? Well. Okay, what is this simplified? You guys remember that I was talking about the wrongfully convicted numbers and whatever. What should be the answer? 2 square root of 3. And I hope that more people can do this quickly in their head like that. It's 2 square root of 3 because it's 4 times 3 is 12. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 square root of 3. 2 square root of 3. Now, that is correct. We should put that right here. 2 square root of 3. Well. Hold on. Let's go. Let me see how far I went here. All right. We got to identify these foci here and here. So what we're doing here is that we're starting at 0, and then we're going to go to the left. So x is 0. Definitely, no, x is not 0. X is what? X is going to be negative 2 root 3. Yes. Because we're going to go to the left this amount of negative 2 root 3, and the y is 0. Yes. Root 12 is about, what is the square root of 12? Between 9 is 3 point something, no? So we're going to go 3 point something to the left. 1, 2, 3. Probably, no, so it's not there. It's more like 3.1, 2, 3. Somewhere over here is where it is. Because the square root of 12 is about 3 point something. So it's way down there, and it's going to be negative 2 root 3 and 0. And then the one over here is going to be square root of 12 is about 3 point something, so it'll be right here. It'll be positive 2 root 3 and 0. And that's all you really need to know for this. Negative 2 root 3 is 0, and positive root 2 3 is 0. So all this work, you don't really need this. All you got to know is subtract whichever one from the other one, the smaller from the bigger, take square root of it to find what the C value is. You don't need to be doing all this stuff. All right, let's go number 2. Number 2. So now that we know hopefully how to do this. It has to equal to 1. It equal to 1, so therefore this is a ellipse. There's a plus in between them, for sure. Then this is an ellipse. It has to equal to 1, and there has to be a plus between them. What's the center of that circle? Aiden, what's the center of that circle?
2.
Loud. Yes, 2 and what?
3.
2, 3. All right. This is not very difficult if you just follow this procedure and identify. 2, 3. X is 2, Y is 3. So this particular ellipse got moved over here to the center. Rewrite these where you got a squared and b squares, no? So then this is going to be 4 squared. Didn't we just do this? Repetitive. So we're going to go that the length along the x is going to be what? The length along the x is going to be what? The length along the x is going to be what? 4, and I go 4. I'm standing at the center. I'm going to go 4 to the what? And 4 to the, because it's the length along the x, the horizontal. So the length along the x from the center, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the length along the y? Up and down. We say the length along the y is 2, meaning that I'm going to go up 2 and down 2. Oh, messed up. Oh, man, that's bad. Okay, so okay, here's where it gets a little bit weird for some people, but it's really not that even. So, didn't we just do this C value? Didn't we already do it? Yes. What's the C value? What did I say? Subtract the small from the big. So 16 minus 4 is 12. Square root of 12 is what? 2 root 3. Yes? But the problem, so we're going to go along this axis. We're going to go this amount to the left and this amount to the right. But the starting point is not 0. See, when the one we just did, it was at the origin. That what we did was, starting here, it was 0 minus C, and then we did 0 plus C. So in this situation, we're not starting at the center. We're starting at x is what? X is what? So we're going to go 2 what? To the left, we're going to go 2 minus what? 2 root 3. And what's the y value of this point? Of where it's going to be at? I'm talking about somewhere right here. Somewhere right here is where the focus points. We're talking about the focus. So it's going to be, this point is what? 2 minus 2 root 3 is this? And what's the y value of it? What's the y value? 3. That's this point is this point here. And now let's get the other point somewhere over here. That one's going to be what? 2 and then what? Plus 2 root 3. And the y value is what? The y value is 3. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking. I probably on the next time I'm gonna erase this stuff. We don't need to be doing all this work. But anyways, 2 minus the left one is 2 minus 2 root 3 and 3, and the right is 2 plus 2 root 3 3. Y value is 3. Not that difficult. Let's move on. Let's go to number 3. If you don't catch everything, you can go to the website. Number 3. Is this an ellipse? Yes or no? We don't know yet. The answer is we don't know yet. The problem as it is that it's equal to 4. It's not supposed to equal to 4. It's supposed to equal to what? It's supposed to equal to what if it is an ellipse? It has to equal to 1. So maybe what can I do to see if it is an ellipse? How can I make it standardize it in an ellipse form? Are you guys all saying divide by 4? Yep. Divide everything by 4? Yep. Divide everything by 4? Yep. So now it can equal to 1. 4 divided by 4? Yes. So then I'm going to get x minus 3 squared over 4 times 4 is 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared over what? So I can already write it in this form. 2 squared. You're like, are they all 4 and 2's? No. It's just the way I set up my lesson. They don't always are 4 and 2. Okay. What is the center? Now it is, no? Everybody, yes, it is. You're like, yep, that is in standard form of an ellipse. Adam, what is the center? 3, negative 1. So the center of this ellipse will be at x equal to 3, y is negative 1. Okay, the center is at 3, negative 1. The length along the x is what, everybody? That's the way I call it. I'm sure you're gonna go watch YouTube. If you go watch YouTube videos, nobody would be saying what I say. It's just the way I remember it. The length along the x is 4, meaning I'm gonna go left 4 and right 4 from that center point. So I'm going to go from this center point left 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right from that center point. The length along the y is going to be what? The length along the y is 2, meaning what? From that center point, I'm going to move how much up? And then put a dot for my co-vertices. and then here, and draw your ellipse, whatever. It's all messed up. Okay. Three -1. Length along the x. 4 left, 4 right. 2 up, 2 down. Drop your ellipse. Now, how do we find the C value? Subtract the what? Back over here. Subtract at the bottoms. Subtract the small from the big, and that's 12. Square root of 12 is C is equal to what? C is equal to 2 root 3. And no, it's not always that. It's just the way I'm doing my example, because I don't want to be doing too much work here. So C equals 2 root 3. So how do we find where the foci, where they're at? Well, you got to do where your starting point is at in terms of the x. So where's the center, the x value of the center? Well, look right here. So I'm going to go from that 3. I'm going to subtract 2 root 3. And what's my y value? Did you all say, what's the y value? -1? Yes or no? The y value is -1 of this point. Not that point, my bad. Not that point. Whatever this focus point is, not this point. So, what did I say? -1? The y value is -1. And the other one will be what? What's the other focus point here? 3 plus what? 2 root 3? And what's the y value? -1. Last one more and we're done for today. We got 15 minutes for this. 10 minutes. I only want to do it 10 minutes. All right, here we go. All right, number 4. This is one of my most favorite of problems that I have examples. So we did this for the circle last week. Now we're going to try to get an ellipse out of this stuff here, out of this equation. So what I said last week was get the x's together, get the y's together, and move the constant to the other side. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get the x's next to each other. 9x squared plus 54x. Leave some space between it because we know we're going to complete the square. Then we're going to put the 4 plus 4y squared minus 8y and move that constant to the other side by minus 49. Okay, easy so far. 9x squared, yes. But we have a problem here for both of them. We have a problem. Because in front of x squared is a number. And we don't want to have this number here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out that 9. So it's just x squared. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. Let's go. If I factor out a 9, then this is going to be x squared. And then what else would I put here? Let me not just be the only one talking. Somebody please tell me what should be here. Huh? 6x is correct. All I'm doing is factoring. 9 times x squared is 9x squared. 9 times 6 is 54x. And then put your little box, because we're going to... put her box. I got them switch the colors here. And now we're going to do the same here. Same thing. 4. Okay? Yes. I'm only factoring the 9, okay? Because I want to complete the square. Even though the greatest common factor would actually be 9x. But we're not doing greatest common factor. I just want to get the y's. Nothing in front of the x squares and the y squares. All right? Okay, so what do I put after that? Minus what? 2y. And put your little box. And then equals to negative 49. And we're going to add, man, I invaded that. All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to add something there. Damien is not here. Damien, because I want to. Here we go. Brian, what goes in the first box, Brian? Man, you don't want me to do the little 9. Please, don't make me do the little squares and little. What the heck happened? 6 divided by 2. What's 6 divided by 2? 3 squared? Hey, I hope that people are like, this is easy. What goes, Maria? What goes in the second box here? Why are you looking at your nose? Do it in your head. Do it right now. 2, it's going to be positive. 2 divided by 2 is what? 1. 1 squared is what? A little better question here for anybody. What goes in the big box? Raise your hand. What goes in the big box? Raise your hand. Now that's good. You just give it a try, somebody. What do you think what goes in the big box? 85 is correct. How do you know it's 85? What? You just guessed? Who can tell me why it's 85? Because you got to times this 9 by this 9 too. Because then it wouldn't be 9 times 9, 81. So 81 plus 4 times 1 is 4. That's 85. 85. So it can stay balanced. Do we really need to be doing the x? I really hope not. This is going to be what? 9, and it's going to be the quantity squared. The quantity squared x, and what's the sign after it? If this is plus, this will be plus. What's the square root of the box? Plus 4, and then this one is going to be the quantity squared. Square root of y squared is y. What sign goes after y? What sign goes after y? This is negative. This is negative. What's the square root of 1? What's negative 49 plus 85? What's negative 49 plus 85? 36? If this is an ellipse, it has to equal to what? It has to equal to 1. So how do I make it equal to 1? How many times is 9 going to 36? So it's going to be what? X plus 3 squared over 4. And then this one's going to be what? Y minus 1 squared over what? Over 9. Without writing too much down, I'm going to go ahead and here write down 4 should be what? 2 squared? And without writing too much down, what should I write down 9? Okay, so now what's the center? Anybody? Let's get it down because we're running out of time. Is it negative 3, positive 1? Negative 3, positive 1? Negative 3, positive 1? What's the A value? What's the A value? You said 2? A. The length along the X is 2. What's the B value? 3. Okay, so to get the foci, we have to figure out what the C value is. How do we find the C value? What did I say? How do we find the C? We're going to do what? Subtract the what? The smaller from the bigger one. So what is 9 minus 4? What? So it's always positive, okay? It's going to be subtract the small from the big. It's going to be 5. It's positive 5. And then square root of 5, no? Okay? So then what are going to be the foci? So now, is it sideways squish or is it upside? Is it this one or is it the standing up egg? Is it the standing up egg or is it the sideways egg? How do I know if it's a standing up or is it the flat one here? Isn't it, which one is bigger? Isn't it bigger? This 9 along the Y is bigger than along the X. When along the Y, this bottom number is bigger, it's because it's going to be standing egg like that. So that's how, so now, we're going to go along the Y to find these focus points, not along the X. So then we're going to go that X is going to stay, negative 3. Because along the X is going to stay there, but along the Y is going to be at 1. And we're going to go, let's do the bottom one. 1 minus what? We're going to go 1 minus square root of 5. And the other one is going to be where X is what? Negative 3. And then we're going to go at 1. We're going to go what? 1 plus square root of 5 to get the other one. And so to graph this, you go, and you go here, and then you go to where negative 3, X is negative 3, positive 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, positive 1. And then you're going to go what? The length along the X, go back to the length along the X is 2. So you're going to go left 1, 2, and then right 1, 2. The length along the Y is 3. So you're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and then go over 1, 2, 3. And then you draw the ellipse that is messed up right here. And now along the Y, it's standing up, I said. And then you're going to go negative 3 and go to 1 and 1 positive. So somewhere here is this one. And this one is down here. And we are done. That would be the graph of it. That is it. Homework. You guys got the homework. 23. Man, let's go. 4 minutes. Homework. Homework. They're not gonna get points to all the points. You gotta finish that. You guys gotta finish all the homework. You know. Homework. So this whole week, bring your tablets fully charged because you're going to be taking the district test. And on Wednesday, you're going to have a practice one. And then the real one on Friday. There you go. 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 Huh? There you go. What do we have time? Let's see if we can figure out that first part. We got what, 3 minutes, 2 minutes? Hey, ellipse. What is an ellipse? An ellipse is the set. An ellipse is a set of all points in a plane such that the Hey, Google it. Oh, you Google it, find out what that is. Google it. Go figure it out. It's the sum. It's such that the set of all points in a plane such that the sum